Hi, this is Michael Spokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I want to touch the aspect of pastors' forums today. And I know there are many controversies around pastors' forums, and others are for, other people are against the pastors' forum. But today I want to just deal with this topic of pastors' forum. And I want to start with the importance of pastors' forums, because I believe strongly that there are some important aspect about pastors' forums. There are those things that you can actually pick up and say, this is very important to have pastors' forum. And that is why I want to address it from the angle of importance of pastors' forum. So that we can actually look at the benefits of having pastors' forum and maybe endorse a little bit of some activities in pastors' forum that may help, particularly in the vicinity where you are. And I want to speak about that today. The first thing that I want to mention is that pastors' forums bring about a platform of networking with people of the same belief system. So in other words, if it's a Christian pastors' forum, you are networking with people that believe in your Christian beliefs, the people that believe in the same beliefs with you. And therefore, what it does, it actually empowers you in that regard. It actually endorses you in the sense of when you are fellowshipping with people of the same belief, you tend to believe even more. You tend to learn more out of that, and you tend to basically see that you're not alone in this thing. And that's the reason why I want to bring it up and say networking with the people of the same belief is very important, particularly in the vicinity where you are, so that you can realize that you are just not alone in this thing, because it's very easy to give up along the way, thinking that you are alone, thinking that you're running a ministry alone and others are actually cozy and okay. While you're facing challenges, others are okay and not facing challenges. So it is not so, but you can only discover it when you do network with people of the same belief. Secondly, it provides a platform that can be used by pastors to develop each other. Because we must actually agree to the fact that we are not on the same level of development. We are not matured at the same level, of course, because we haven't started ministry at the same time. And sometimes we're not exposed to the same lessons as well at the same time for us to mature. And also, even if we were exposed to the same lessons, you'll realize that we cannot grasp the same way in any class that we are in, learning about the principles of running a ministry. So therefore, there'll be those that know better. There'll be those that are more experienced and with more knowledge. And of course, because of that, so we will be able to develop each other. And also, I want to mention that there are some young pastors that come into the ministry later on, and they find some older pastors in the ministry. So because of the experience of the older pastors generally, they would be knowing much more better than the younger pastors, and they would know because they would have met challenges, they would have met problems before that they've dealt with, and therefore the young pastors don't need to go through the same path of suffering and struggling, while the older pastors have actually passed and conquered some of the problems. So that's the reason why developmental platform is very important. So therefore, if you are in pastors' forum and as a young pastor, it should be aiming to learn from the older pastors that are more experienced in the work of the ministry. And this is very important, but it needs humility of heart for somebody to humble themselves and know that I'm not experienced like the others. So therefore, those that are experienced, we need to suck from their breast and learn from them, because they've got experience more than us. They've faced the challenges more than us, and they've conquered them. So therefore, they would know how to conquer problems going forward, and they would teach us about that. So the empowerment aspect is very key, and therefore I want to emphasize it as well, that if you're a younger pastor, it is very important for you to be part of pastors' forum, of the people that are matured, people that are experienced, people that have been in the ministry for a while, because you will definitely learn a lot, and that will help you to develop and become a better person. So I would love to emphasize that. And the other point is that it provides platform for good counsel as well. Well, when you are in the midst of people that experience, people that know, and you're faced up with problems that you may not know how to deal with them, you may not know how to sort them out. And in the ministry, there are some, as I've said earlier, that have walked in the path before you, and therefore they are more experienced and knowledgeable about how to deal with issues of the ministry. Now, because of that, it is a platform, therefore, for good counsel, for advices that will come from those people that know better. Because there are also experiences that people may not be more mature than you, but of course they've experienced aspects of life that you may have not experienced. So therefore, in this case, when we speak about good counsel, it's not necessarily only from experienced pastors. Good counsel is from the people that have actually pulled themselves up to become matured in this part of Christianity. So therefore, they are knowledgeable. They are people that can lead others. They are people that can show the way. They are people that can be role models in the aspects of Christianity and also the principles thereof. And that is why when you talk about good counsel, you speak about doctrinal counsel, you're speaking about life in general counsel. So many other areas, because there are those that will give you counsel in financial matters. There are those that may give you counsel in psychological or even emotional matters, things that may not be spiritual at all, but you have people that are more experienced in other areas that would give, therefore, a good counsel to you. So therefore, Pastors Forum could be used as a platform for good counsel if it is managed properly and also managed in an appropriate manner. The other thing is it promotes unity amongst the people of the same faith. Now, if you have these pastors in the same place, same community, same society, believing in the same Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, believing in the doctrine of God who has sent his Son, Jesus Christ, as a living Savior. So it is very important, therefore, to have a platform or a place whereby we are united together with the people of the same faith. We are actually speaking the same language, because if we were to win people, if we are to show the people the way, if we are to be exemplary in our communities, so we're going to need to be united in faith, united in our hearts, speak the same language, walk the same walk, then people can therefore be convinced and be part of this great faith, which is Christianity based on the unity of the saints. And that is why Jesus, when he was teaching his disciples, he was valuing the issue of unity as a big one. And therefore, also when the apostles came into being, I'm sure you realize that after Jesus ascended up to heaven, we realized that unity was emphasized even much more. Because when they are united and they are one, they can actually win most, or they can achieve a lot. So therefore, it is a very important aspect that we recognize the fact that Pastors Forum are actually a platform actually to improve unity or to promote unity amongst the people of the same faith. So that's very important. I want to also emphasize that Pastors Forums provide stability of Christians by preventing what we call church hopping spirit. Because many Christians move from one church to another. They just don't grow. They just don't want to be matured. And most of them, they run away from projects. If this church A is announcing a church building project, they would run away to church B because they are afraid to contribute monies for church building. And when they are in church B, if church B announces another project that needs money, they would actually move and hop around to another church C, which actually makes the people to move from one church to another for no apparent reason. And when people are church hopping like that, they cannot mature, number one. Number two is actually the planting a spirit of rebellion in the churches, because they move around speaking bad about the previous church in this particular church, and without no reason. It's just because they're having their own issues. And it can be a spirit of the devil that is implanted in people for them to church hop. We have seen people that are really serial church hoppers, people that would move from one church to another and never be stable at all at any church. And you've seen members like that. And these Pastors Forums, therefore, act as a tonic or as a prevention generally of church hopping, because they know that pastors are together. They have meetings together, they speak together. So therefore, if I move from this church to another, I'm probably going to be known on the other side as well, because these pastors know each other. They're going to phone each other. So therefore, because of that, that helps many members to stick to their guns and remain in the church where they are and stop the spirit of church hopping. So I want to emphasize that Pastors Forums does play a role in stopping church hopping. We have seen that happening in communities that are stratified in a very, very united manner. So it's very important that we mention that, and therefore it should be able to help many to see the positives of Pastors Forums. I want to emphasize that. Now, there's also another point that I want to mention, which is providing strong moral voice in the community. Now, it's difficult to have a moral voice alone when you are an individual. But when you are a committee or a structure that is known, so it's a community structure which is called a Pastors Forum. People that would have a voice against immoralities in the community. People that will address issues of immorality in the community. So this is very important that we consider it, because when you are having pastors' forums, they are united forum that will actually take issues to political heads as well, to the communities where they are chiefs and so on. They can go there with a very strong voice because they are known to be actually a community structure in this community that can have a voice to speak. So therefore, it is very, very important for us to understand that activism is not easy when you are in activism alone. So therefore, when you are having a forum like Pastors Forum, it's easier to be in activism against, say, drugs in the community, against maybe moral decay in the community, any other moral deviation in the community. Pastors Forums can address that because they are a known structure that is a formal, that can be listened to and be heard by the municipality officials and can be heard as well by the chiefs of the village where you are. So pastoral forum, therefore, I endorse it as very, very important. And as Church Governance Solutions, we encourage pastors to formulate pastors' forums around their vicinity. I know you might have had bad experiences about it, but try it out and see and make sure that it assists you to actually address the issues that we spoke about today. But I want to emphasize as well that I will be speaking tomorrow about what makes pastors' forums fail. So maybe you should actually attend to that as well tomorrow as we speak, because that may help you to see that there are issues that are impacting to the pastors' forums to make them fail. But otherwise, it's not that pastors' forums are bad at all. So lastly today, I want to speak that pastors' forums, if strong, they can prevent what we call emergence of foreign altars. Because when they are strong enough, they've got a network of being able to vet every single individual that come into the place. So in other words, if there's a new preacher in the area, new preacher in the community, new preacher in the society where they are able to actually sit that person down and interview the person and get to know the motives of the person and the background and foundation that the person comes from. Because therefore, otherwise, if you don't vet the people, everybody is just doing their own things. And in this community, people just building churches willy-nilly. And they come with evil altars that nobody can be able to rebuke. But when there is a church or pastor's forum, there may be it may be that it is a structure that may be able to interview people that are coming into the community to open churches, and so that you can vet them properly and know if they are coming with the right intentions or not. So sitting them down, interviewing them, finding out where they're coming from, finding out the background of their Christian beliefs, and you will actually pick it up quickly that this is a bogus preacher, and therefore you'll be able to stop him from getting into the communities. That's very important that pastors' forums are seen that way. I want to end up here today because I want you to join us tomorrow as we deal with just some aspects that make pastors' forums to fail, because that's going to be very important for you to understand that, and that may help you as well to prevent pastors' forums from failing. I want to end up here today. Your host, Mike Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great talk. I believe that you're going to join us tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.